was on by the river.
Hello, everybody. In a little tent. Just like who doesn't love this music? Remind you of anyone? A change is gonna come. Uh-oh, what's that mean? So, this is his new account. Beat gangstalking today. 9 subscribers. 10 views. Even though in his mind about 36 people that he could actually name watch his podcast. If that's what it is. I don't know what it is. A vlog. A record of his declining health. Is that better? Is that a bit... So I was speaking really loud there. I hate microphones, man. I cannot get these headset microphones to just like record at a decent volume. It's either too quiet or too loud. But hopefully this is alright. A change is... I just love this song, man. No, I don't... And I'll get copyrighted because of this, because the world is shit. And it's like, what, you can't make money off your music and have me play it on my podcast that no one pays for, no one even watches. Like, what's the issue? Why are you blocking it in Germany? Stop blocking it in Germany. Luckily, it is only that neo-liberal fascist state, Germany, usually that blocks music. It must just be so shit, the internet there. Can you imagine going on YouTube? Be about 5 videos. The things you do when, you know, your entire nation is emasculated after a war. Anyway, twice. Anyway, let's get on with it. This is, I don't know if we're going to watch all of this, obviously. It's like an hour and 12 minutes, as well as all the shit I talk. But we have to go at least so far, because I've listened to this. Not sure if I did listen to the whole thing. It's like... This auto-played after something on YouTube on my PlayStation 4 when I was in bed one night, and this came on, and I was like, controller was at the other side of the room, and then after 5 minutes I was hooked. Because I haven't been listening to a lot of his new stuff, because it's just him trying to twist facts and make himself look reasonable, and try to, like, just hope that, like, nobody trawls through the countless, endless tripe in any of his old accounts, just 2,000 videos... 2,000 videos on one of them. So, you know, he's obviously just hoping nobody will ever go through all of them, and they'll just take his word that, oh, it's just people think I'm crazy, and they're just gang stalkers, and, you know, don't look into any sort of, like, you know, legal documents about my trial, which you can find on the Jamil Rawls observation community. I'll leave a little link in the thing below. You can join up. You'll get most of the updates about his ongoing trial for stalking a woman and her family. Oh, but it wasn't that woman, it was that woman, Jamil. Okay, everyone knows who it was. He spent months talking about her specifically, in specific scenarios as well. You fudged yourself. That's why they locked that account, so you didn't delete anything. You fudged yourself. Right. Oh, he's got a website as well. BeatGangstalking.com. You can pay like $300 to meet him or something, to be his friend. If you're interested in that, let's get on with this.
Alright, so I was thinking about experiences that came out of gangstalking. One of the craziest things that happened to me, this is the most fucking insane thing that I've ever seen in gangstalking.
And he's telling the truth for once. If this is... I think it's the story straight away, because I remember just halfway through I was just like, how... Like, this is why he's the gift. You'll see. You'll see why he's the gift that keeps on giving.
This isn't the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life, but this is the most insane thing when it comes to gangstalking I've ever seen. I was in the woods. I was in the woods.
What is that? Is that a tree?
Like, I went on this 30-mile walk, right?
There we go. 30-mile walk, right? And I believe him. I don't think I exaggerate a lot. Like, I'll say, you know, man, I ran like 30,000 miles. People go, 30,000 miles? I was like, sorry, I exaggerate. It's just something I do. It is kind of lying. It's weird. It's this weird thing where, like, people who exaggerate, I don't think of it as like I'm, you know, not telling the truth. I'm just trying to get my point across using like a really exaggerated. But sometimes, you know, I don't know. Sometimes it can come off a bit awkward, and it's hard to do. It's like a tick. I don't know, but I don't even know what I was saying now. Oh yeah, no, yeah. When he was saying 30 miles there, I believe him. Like, this dude just walks and walks and walks. He's manic. He's crazy. He's nuts. He's just walking. What I'd love to do is sit him down in a room and just be like, "Where were you walking, Jamil?" I wouldn't walk in nowhere, you know. I just don't know. Sometimes there I go, right. And they get close, and I go, well, "What were you walking away from?" That's all someone needs to say to him.
Basically, I ended up tripping out. Like, I don't know what the fuck. Like, I was in my room. I just kept making YouTube videos every single fucking day, and I was talking about all kinds of stuff.
Changed.
I was talking about, like, the Nazis. I was talking about gangstalking. I was talking about, like, the fucking... Like, I just went off on my... I had a YouTube channel called Jamila's Magic, and I just got sick of that YouTube channel for some reason. I just didn't like it anymore, so I fucking took it down. I didn't want it to be, like, a representation. It was intertwined.
Another lie. It wasn't that. He was doing magic tricks. Like, he started. It was a personality that he sort of flirted with for a time, because he goes through these personas. You know, he was Jordan Maxwell Jamil at one point. He was Mexican Jamil at one point, with the moustache and the glasses. El Chapo. So now he's like Black Jamil again with his crazy black hair. He was Muhammad Ali Jamil not that long ago when he started. I was skip roping. Cut his hair like Muhammad Ali. That was when he first came back.
It was my research combined with gang stalking, and just I didn't like the way it was going. And
yeah, so that account was like just for magic tricks. I will stop interrupting, mostly. Yeah, that account was just for magic tricks, so it's nothing to do with what he saw. He's forgot himself. I don't think he's lying again. I think he's just making it up now, because he's forgot and he thinks that people don't know.
I had a bunch of just, I don't know, like every year, like last year, like I fucking tripped out and I was in my front yard and I was drunk and stuff and I was like yelling and stuff and like tripping and stuff like that.
At a car.
And like I think it was sort of like a replay, like I like fucking tripped out on YouTube, but I ended up going on this 30-mile walk. Let the truth be told, that walk, it was like really 37 miles. I checked it out. I walked.
So why did you say 30?
From where I stay at to Hudsonville, which is far as fuck, and it was cold. But to me, it didn't feel. To me, like I didn't feel like really tired. Like my body was.
This is where it's like, you know, right? Some of you may be retarded, and you'll just be listening, and you won't get any of it. It gets pretty blatant in a minute, but straight away, you know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I know most of you think, or that I've got this reputation as some sort of doctor. And I know that's what I tell some people. We won't get. But this, like, it becomes quite clear, and I remember just laying in bed. This is where it caught my attention. So we're a minute 39 in, 9 fucking minutes into this video. I talk like a fucking woman. 1 minute 39 into this, and it grabs my attention, because straight away I was like, straight away I was like 30 miles, and then you'll see, he starts like, oh, I was getting, you know, I wasn't really feeling tired, but, you know, I hadn't had a drink in 30 miles, after walking 30 miles I hadn't had a drink, but, you know, I wasn't really feeling thirsty, and straight away I was just like, oh, and you know, it was freezing out, but I wasn't feeling cold. Like, this dude was dying, is what was happening. He was dying on his feet. He was manically walking. You'll see.
Mine was just like, just keep going. I just wanted to get out of the fucking area. I just got sick of being here. Like, I don't know what happened. I just started tripping.
Sick of being here? How often do you get, like, sick of being, like, at home or whatever, right? And you go out for a walk, and you walk 30 miles away.
Like, there was a rumor, it's like people were saying, like, somebody had told, I don't know how I got back, but somebody had told somebody that motherfuckers had found me, like, in a ditch or something like that. Like, I was fucking dead or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I went into the woods.
Is that when the clone Jamil took over?
Because I was being gang stalked, and I was trying to peep out the scene and see what types of, like, cars and stuff. Every area I go to, I like to sit back and, like, just watch stuff. So I went in the woods and I was watching, and they had motherfuckers by the woods I was at. They had these people in the distance. I couldn't see. They had, like, all white.
Here it comes. Here's all that stuff again. They're in the distance. I could see, but I couldn't see, but I could... Hallucinating. He hallucinates as it is, just with his schizophrenia. Never mind the severe stress his body's under. Kidneys are probably shutting down. Oh my god. And he's just stood in the woods 37 miles away from home in the freezing cold. He hasn't had a drink. He probably doesn't have any money. Like, who does this? Do you know what I mean, though? Like, and it gets more insane. The fact that he doesn't realise any of this.
A white mask and stuff. And I couldn't really see him.
Oh, they're wearing white masks.
I'm just sitting there saying, like, okay, this like fucking tripped out. And so I turned my head and I'm just sitting there chilling. This is like about 20 minutes later.
First acid trip I ever had. Do you know how it started? And I stupidly took some acid. That somebody told me. A friend told me. And I do believe him. That he took some... Oh, it has no effect. It has no effect. He said. And, yeah, right. Anyway. I was in the garden. My friends. And all of a sudden, just out of the corner of my eye, I see a little tea towel that was, like, hung up. Just sort of, like, flapping and floating about. And I just looked straight up. I was just like, what was that? What's that? Go on, what's wrong? I said, was that just... And obviously they all knew. They started laughing and that. And I was like, was that moving? It's always like it's in your, like, peripheral, in my experience. Like when it begins. Seeing something out the corner of your eye, then I don't know what it just sparks your imagination then. And then that's it. Once your imagination gets going.
One of these motherfuckers, I don't know how he did it, but he had crawled through the snow, like on the ground like this. Like they do in the fucking army and stuff. He had crawled... This motherfucker had like a white mask on, and all you see is just white, right? And this motherfucker had snow on himself. And I looked over. Now you got to remember, I ain't been to sleep in like damn near like 40 some hours. Like I didn't sleep the night before.
So this is like where I'm just like, right. So yeah, he was hallucinating, and he realizes it. No.
So I ain't been asleep. I ain't been eating, and I'm dehydrated. I ain't been drinking enough, liquids and stuff like that. And I've been walking and running for 37 miles. So I'm tired as fuck, but my mind just wants to keep going. And so I look over and I see the guy, but it didn't look like it looked. It looked like the.
See, I see the guy. Like this isn't an hallucination. Like now he's not describing this as he thinks it was a person in there. He thinks it was one of the stalkers. One of the stalkers all wearing white in white masks. Just on the outside of the woods, so you can see him, but I can't really see him, but I can see him.
Forest came to life.
Just like the girl. Just like the girl who he was stalking. I saw her. She went past in the car, but, I couldn't see her hair was covering her face. They drove past too fast. Tinted windows. Sun in the windows.
Like, I'm sitting there relaxing, because the people were down way over there across the woods. I'm thinking these are like some motherfuckers outside hunting or something. I can't really see them. And so I look at the snow, and the snow looks like it comes to, like, I can see the snow moving. Like, all I saw was the fucking snow moving. And so it looked like the snow, it looked like snow people were coming out of the ground. Like, that's what it looked like. It looked like the ground was coming to life. It was like fucking like...
Now, anybody who's had any experience with hallucinations, straight away, just like me, you're like, right, yeah, I know what happened. Yeah, it wasn't a man, Jamil. It was your imagination, your paranoia, looking about, thinking that these people are coming for you. And when you start hallucinating, starting in the corner of your eye, draws your attention, you look over and you see a figure formed from the snow gets up and...
It was like snow people or something. Like, you know, I talk about the lizard people, and the lizard people come up under the ground. That's what it fucking looked like. It looked like fucking snow. It looked like snow people came to life. I'm not lying, man. Motherfuckers gonna think I'm tripping out. Somebody had on a white uniform,
you're tripping out.
and they crawled through the fucking snow, like on the ground through the snow, and I couldn't see them crawling. And so by the time they got where they got to, I didn't see the manifestation of the start and end point. It just looked. I just looked over, and it looked like the fucking ground was coming to life. And I was just like, "Bitch!" Ah! I just took off running through. I was like, ah! That shit was fucking tripped out, man. It looked like some fucking demon stuff. Like fucking the ground. It looked like the ground just started coming to life. It was supernatural. I didn't know what the fuck it was. Like, I saw the people over there, but like 20 minutes later, it looked like the fucking ground just started moving by itself, and something was coming out of people were coming out of the ground and stuff. And, you know, again, I was dehydrated and all this stuff, and so I was just fucking like, God damn, like I couldn't make sense of it. I couldn't make sense of it at the time. Like,
see, that this is the problem. See, he never comes to the conclusion that he was hallucinating. He keeps going, and I was dehydrated in that. And you may be misled to believe that he's saying, so, you know, I was tripping out, I was, you know, seeing things, but that's not what he's saying. He's saying he wasn't clear-headed enough to understand what was going on because he was dehydrated. Not he was hallucinating because he was dehydrated. In his mind, this all still happened. And the most incredible thing about, like, I don't know whether it is just me. I assume it's everybody because it's the way he describes these stories of his and like his experiences. Like he describes it in his demented, twisted, you know, incorrect reality, like what he thinks is happening. But he still, I don't know if it's just because, you know, we aren't. I don't want to keep saying crazy, but we aren't crazy. So we see it for what it is straight away, like just basic, ordinary, everyday human interactions and stuff. It has to be one of those, like, on the outside looking in.
What was happening? It was just fucked up. It's like, you know how something happens and you can't make sense? It was like a paranormal experience almost. And so I take off running through the woods, and I run through this motherfucking cornfield. And there was like this little skinny white dude standing by a car with a motherfucking phone and stuff, and he was like, I was like yelling. He was saying something to me, and I was like, ah, bitch, ah! I ran around the car like this, and I kept on going up into where the highway was, and there was cars coming. I remember looking at the highway, and it was broad daylight.
Oh, let me guess, the lights were on.
Cars coming.
I think he does actually say that.
It was just trucks and cars and stuff, but a lot of them had the headlights on. Like all these motherfuckers had like, this was fucked up. Hell, this was fucked up. I'm telling you, when I say I be if you say you be gangstalking, you gotta have some experiences. Like this is a motherfucking like Steven Seagal.
Barely even. I've heard experiences that are like interesting, even though they're still crazy.
My research is fucking insane. We go down through there.
These are barely coherent hallucinations someone's having that no one can make any, you know, sense of.
The headlights on and stuff, and I was just running across the fucking highway. This was like a movie, man. This was like some motherfucking like.
Oh, it was
like
like a comedy.
Type stuff. Like,
Nah, a real comedy.
And the cars just keep coming. It's bam, 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 bam. And I'm sitting there, I'm yelling at the fucking cars and stuff. And then the fucking popos roll up, the police roll up, and they were just like, damn, where you going? And I'm so fucking tired and exhausted. And then I see the fucking people in the woods and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers coming out of the ground and stuff, and like all these cars got headlights and stuff. I'm just like, oh man, I was like, oh, these motherfuckers, I can't tell what's going on.
This guy is running around this neighborhood wherever he was, 37 miles away from his home, running in the woods. He's screaming. Thinks he's getting chased by people. He's just hallucinating. He's probably underdressed for the weather. I bet he was in the t-shirt and the shorts that he always wears with the long socks. And he's just like hallucinating, looking weird, out of place. Someone rings the police. They come out to check on him. And this guy doesn't realise that, like, everyone's just like, this weirdo, what's happening? Like, he's gone full crazy now. I said it was happening for years, and the fact that this guy's like 30. Do you know what I mean? Or 31, is he? I don't know. Like, seriously, man. It's just sad. Anyway, let's keep laughing.
Think I'm crazy. But the first thing the police were like, is somebody trying to kidnap you? I'm like, what?
I'm like, what? Straight away, as soon as he did that, they were like, oh, great, we're gonna fucking nutcase here. Straight away, he's like, well, oh, right, so you know about all this shit, do you? No, someone probably rang the police and said, there's a man out here, he thinks he's getting kidnapped. Some police send the police. He's screaming.
Like, yeah, why do you say that? Like,
just an insight into his mind. Look, everything's suspicious. You couldn't say anything to him without him twisting it in his mind to mean that you were referring to gangstalking or something, and you're in on it. That's why all these people are tapped. They can't properly. It's two things. One of them, whatever disease they have, is affecting the thing in their brain, which is usually the part of their brain which is usually used to identify patterns in things. So they start seeing things like headlights, and then they can't stop seeing it. Because manufacturers of cars these days make it so that the side lights are on all the time automatically anyway. And there are just so many people out there that drive with the lights on anyway, in the broad daylight, in the sun, because they're stupid. Or old. But then there's the other part, which is what did I just say? So there's the pattern recognition part of the brain, and then there is this part which it's like it affects the way that they perceive like human interaction. It's bizarre. It's like they have a narrative, and it doesn't matter what you do or say, you'll fit in it. And they don't understand. Like it's just this like human connection thing they all have an issue with. That's the central issue, because they're not interacting with people in the correct way. Like, they act weirdly, then people see them acting weirdly, so they sort of like they're offish and weird around them, and then they see that and see it as a confirmation of their beliefs in gangstalking, when it's not that at all. It's just that these people don't want... Most people just don't want to deal with your shit. None of your shit, none of your problems, none of it. They've got their own problems, they've got their own lives. They don't want... It's not about you. The world doesn't revolve around you. Nobody really cares.
But and so he was like, this motherfucker ended up calling an ambulance because he was like, do you want us to take you home? He was like, you're not in trouble. You're not in trouble. We're not gonna arrest you or anything. You just get back in the car and we can drive you home. And I'm like, no, I don't want you to take me home.
It's because he's a fucking nut. He's a lunatic. No, can you imagine that face? Look at it. Does this look... Like, this is the problem. There's like 7 gangstalkers watching this now, and they're like, yeah, he just looks completely reasonable. He just looks completely normal. Because they've got the same fucking mental disease. But look at him. Look at him. People who aren't autistic, okay, who can understand, who accurately read micro-expressions, can tell that this guy is off. There's something wrong with him. He might be nice somewhere in there, even though he's not really nice. He's just a money-driven selfish person.
He was like, you're not in trouble. You're
Right,
not
watch
in
his eyes
trouble.
here.
We're not
Watch
going to
him.
arrest you or anything. You can just get back in the car and we can drive you home. And I'm like,
There, look. He's like, oh, I don't like.
I'm like, no, I don't want you to take me home. I don't want to go with you.
That
anywhere."
laughing? Like, who laughs at that moment? It's like when Hillary Clinton laughs, another mentally ill person. Because she's a psychopath. She's a sociopath. She can't read other people's emotions. And she doesn't really know when it's appropriate to laugh. Like, other than an obvious, like, knock knock, who's like a joke that she can logically read. But at those little human moments,
And then he's like, come on, we'll just drive you home. You don't gotta worry about nothing. He's like, we'll just drive you home. And so I'm just like, in the back of my mind, I'm just like, I don't want to go home. I don't like. I was like, no, I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? And he was just like, well, he was like, you're already cold. He was like, how long have you been out here? And I was like, I've been walking. I left walking last night. He was like, do you have a phone? He was like, do you have somebody you can call? I was like, no. I was like, but I'll walk down the street and I'll be all right. And he was like, no, we can't do that. Had he left me out there, I probably could have died, actually. To be honest with you, I've been walking so much. But I didn't want to go with him.
okay, I've been walking so much, right? This is a 30-odd-year-old man that cannot look after himself. Okay, he would not be able to be left alone. He doesn't know that he can't walk 37 miles, go that long without water, without food, without energy. He doesn't know these things. He's been failed, obviously, in his life by central people around him. And it's unfortunate. I think his dad was a bit of a... Well, you know. Wasn't, should we just say. His dad wasn't. I think. Certainly doesn't seem to know him. I believe his dad left when he was young, probably has a whole gang of children around there. Benefiting society.
No, I was like, fuck that, because after seeing motherfuckers come up out of the ground and stuff, like, I was just like, I don't know what these motherfuckers are trying to do out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, these motherfuckers are like, you know, fuck all, you know, like, what the...
There you go, see? There it is. Wasn't a hallucination. Even now, like, months later, how do you not look back at that? The strangest thing that ever happened to me is, and it may have been a stroke, although I was like 15, so it probably wasn't. But I was at my computer screen. Actually, I was right where I am right now. So yeah, it was about 3 a.m. in the morning. Now I know. Do you know when you know you're not dreaming? Like right now, you're actually like, right, I can tell it's vivid enough. I can tell I'm not dreaming. Things make sense enough. Whereas like sometimes you recall dreams, and you know, you can tell how bizarre and ridiculous it was. You know, you're opening the doors to the wrong rooms and stuff like that. So, in my head at least, I know it wasn't a dream, okay? Like, I remember this really well. And I always say it was the night I was abducted by aliens. Probably wasn't, okay? Anyway, so I'm just going to get up to go to bed. So I stand up from a chair, I look out the window for a little bit. I move back from the window, and I feel like just a soft, like, tap. Like that, if you feel that, on the side of my neck. As if I swatted a fly. Like, that's what it felt like. Like, if it felt like a midgie on my neck or something like that, I just tap it off. That's what it felt like. And instantly, my body just started shutting down. Like, my muscles all went limp. I dropped to the floor. And I just slowly started, like, fading into unconsciousness. Like, I felt it coming. Just, like, sleep. And my eyes started to shut. And I thought I was dying. I was just like, oh, well, this is fucking crazy. Oh, I'd die. Woke up the next morning, undressed, in my bed. Like, just, you know, in the quilt, everything. The duvet. And, you know, it was really vivid. Don't know what happened. Don't know what it may have been abducted. May have just been a dream or a hallucination or something like that, okay? Now, I can look back at that, and I look back at it, and I think about it like that. Whereas this guy, it hasn't even entered this guy's mind that what he saw in the woods was an hallucination. As vivid as it may have seemed to him. Like, what sort of thinking?
So he was like, you probably... He was
Those are not very good analytic skills.
And I'm like, huh? And so they call the ambulance. These motherfuckers, excuse my language.
What? You always swear.
They said I had hypothermia. Right?
He was dying. He was literally dying.
I don't really, to be honest with you, it's possible. I mean, I probably could have.
I don't think I was.
I mean, had I been out there a lot longer.
I didn't feel cold, so, I wasn't... honestly, like, who doesn't know that? I guess this guy didn't go to school a lot, but who didn't hear about that in school? Like, there's that kid who went home from a party and he thought he was hot. So he took his clothes off and he froze to death. Yeah, that's what happens, Jamil. You start feeling warm. You feel okay. You should really wear a coat and be dehydrated and eat. Especially if you're going to walk 37 miles. 37 miles? 37 miles? Oh.
I probably would have got sick. Maybe even... It's possible. I don't know how long somebody can be outside like that. But... so anyway... They show up with the ambulance people.
Cha-ching. Taxpayer. Cha-ching. Tax money well spent. Cha-ching.
And they were like, here, you have a blanket, all this stuff. And so...
Cha-ching.
What was I doing? I was talking to the people.
On our dime. Cha-ching, cha-ching. 1 hour, 2 hours pay.
They were just asking me questions.
Oh, there's private hospitals in America, aren't there?
Asking me questions.
I bet you still get like
Where were you going?
subsidize this
What
shit,
were
don't you, if
trying
you
to
can't
achieve?
afford
It
it.
was just like a list of fucking questions. So, I'm trying to think. The whole thing was just fucking insane. Like the walk, I just kept walking and walking and walking. So by the time I ended up talking to the police and the ambulance stuff, I was just fucking like exhausted. Like I didn't, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, dude, you walked 37 miles without water or food.
He gave me some. What did he give me in there?
Morphine? Shut you up?
I remember he gave me something to drink or something like that. And so
Orange juice.
He gave me something that energized, like my energy came back. Like
Orange
I got a
juice.
blanket, I got warm, and my energy
Sugar
started
water.
coming back, so I got a little bit more alert. And so
See, this dude was just like, he was probably like foaming from the mouth and that. The police are like, this dude's like, he's fucked. Like, when there's no way we're leaving him out here. If we leave him out here, we've got blood on our hands, he's dead. Looking at him and Jimmy's like, I know, man, I'm fine, man. I'm fine, I just wanna... And he's like 6'8", like 300 pounds. Who needs that? What police officer needs that? He should be out there saving lives. Well, he is, in a way, but he should be out there saving lives that need to be saved, or should need to be saved, rather than just an idiot who walked 37 miles, bought a bottle of water.
motherfuckers put a catheter on me.
You said it right, you idiot.
What the fuck they call it? Excuse my language. A catheter where these motherfuckers stick a tube in your penis. Excuse my language.
Penis is not a swear word.
That's just what happened. They put a fucking tube in your penis.
Fucking
and
is.
So I get the catheter. These motherfuckers they take me up in there, and what did they say? They said, you've been out walking, you have hypothermia. They said your K level or something.
Oh my
god. Your kidneys.
Oh my
within my kidneys. Like they had a thing where they were saying,
told you, kidneys were shutting down.
toxins in my kidneys. And
Yeah,
the toxins were too high, and I needed to get my toxins right, and I had to have potassium and all this stuff.
So how can we explain this to this fucking...
They just had a big long rap about everything, to me it just sounded like some fucking nonsense.
I'm sure it did. To me, I'm just in my own fucking world, in my own Jamil's fucking problems. I'm thinking about myself, my own fucking... Selfish. Fucking poor nurses have to fucking care over you and shit. Police getting paid by the government to pick you up, to deal with you, to deal with your shit. Why? Why? Because you went out for a fucking 37-mile walk, you idiot. What were you doing? You don't like it, you don't like where you are, get a job, move away. Stop using everything as an excuse.
Late. If I just would have went and drank some, like, you know, some juice or something, I'd have been straight. Wouldn't lay down for a couple hours, you know, like a few hours or something. I didn't think it was all what they made it out to be, but...
So that's what he thinks. You know, his kidneys were failing, he had hypothermia, and, you know, he thinks, oh, you know, I just drank some orange juice, lay down for a few hours, I'd have been fine. Like, what a dope. What a dope.
They could be, I don't know, they could be right, though.
It could be, couldn't they?
Because
They
that
are.
was like a 37-mile walk.
Yeah, they are
I
doctors.
wasn't drinking enough liquids. You know, that's so. I mean, I probably did have a lot of time. You know, it could be what they
maybe.
say could be correct. You know,
It could be correct.
you know,
It
I'm
could
not
be.
a doctor. I don't fucking know. So,
But you're too modest, mate.
so anyway, what the fuck happened?
You don't know.
All right, so I ended up going to the hospital. I ended up going to Hackley Hospital in Muskegon, and they brought the catheter in there, and.
They're just bringing this around with him, sticking it in.
What the fuck happened? Motherfuckers kept lying to me, man. They wanted me to do it. They wanted me to do a CAT scan. I was gonna leave.
Motherfuckers keep lying to me, man. Motherfuckers keep lying to me. They want me to do a CAT scan. Who actually wanted the CAT scan? Could it have been Mama? She just wants fucking son to be alright, to be looking after himself. To just stop it with the nonsense. The nonsense. And realise that just being a normal person isn't that bad. It really isn't that bad. We're happy 99% of the time. You're miserable.
Motherfuckers called to see. My mother showed up at the hospital, and my mother, she knows I get gang stuck. She knows what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. Why? Because she says that. Because she's scared. Because you don't confront people's vivid delusions like that. And she's probably had enough of your shit. And you're getting angry when she won't listen. You think she gang stalks you anyway, you fucking lunatic?
She does it. She participates in some of the gang stalking herself.
Yeah, because she drove home one night with her lights on. In the daytime. Gang stalker, mother. You know, his own mother, gang stalker. That's how paranoid these people are. Like, what is she getting out of it? She gets paid, she gets all this, she say... Really? Proof? She getting paid? Still in the same house. Next to the airport. Son's fucking taking up all the gang stalking bills with lawyers and with stalking cases. Why are they making a gang stalker pay for the thing that they're trying to enact? Isn't there a conflict of interest here? Would she still be working for them when she's realising that actually working for them is costing her more money than it's giving back?
But she showed up and she signed this fucking.
What did you just say about your fucking mother? You piece of shit? You piece of fucking shit? What did he nearly just say about his mother? Whose house he is living in, by the way? Is that your house? You paying the rent, Jamil?
But she showed up and she signed this fucking.
I'm a nice person. I'm a nice guy. You know, I'm not the angry guy that people trying to make me out as in my videos. You're a nasty, selfish piece of work.
She showed up and she signed me in there involuntarily.
Who raises a son to call them a fucking bitch?
And she signed papers when I was in the ER, man. I'm in the fucking ER. I'm in the emergency ward, in the emergency room. She signed some papers admitting me involuntarily to the psychiatric people.
Yeah, to try to help you. Not to punish you. Not to hurt you, to help you.
So I'm ready
Me,
to roll.
everyone, your mother, everyone, they're all saying you have a problem. Yet in his head, I don't have a problem because I don't feel like I have a problem. Well, that's a crazy person, Jamil. That's a crazy person.
I'm like, fuck that, I'm leaving. I ain't staying here. If I gotta go to a hotel, I'll go to a hotel. If you don't want me back in your house, that's how I'm looking at to my mother. And then they're like, so these motherfuckers, I'm already tired and sick and all this stuff. And I want to leave, and they call the security down there. These motherfuckers called like 10 security guards down there. Like, what the
Right, as well, keep in mind at this part as well, right, because he's going on like, it's just crazy, all this stuff, right? Again, read between the lines of what he's saying. This is what was happening. You motherfuckers, I'm getting out of here! Motherfucking fuckers! Just kicking shit over, nurses trying to hold him down. That's what's happening here. He's putting it forward as if, I'm just sat there and I'm inquisitive and I don't understand what's going on. These motherfuckers bringing 10 security guards down. This guy's kicking out, he's crazy. That's how he ended up in this place. That's how he ended up getting admitted to it. Say that he just believed in gangstalking. They're not going to try to force him into... Okay, lots of people have crazy beliefs. It's when you're manic, danger to those around you, and it's affecting what they're doing.
fuck do you need 10 security guards for? And so they call 10 security guards down there, and they're like, we want to take your urine and stuff, and you could be sick for pneumonia. So these motherfuckers hooked me up to this catheter or whatever it is.
Again.
Then they want me to do a brain scan. They want to do a scan of.
It's the strangest thing. We can't see anything. Just an empty skull.
And so I'm like, what the fuck? Are you motherfuckers like trying to do some Illuminati stuff up in a motherfucking brain scan? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's some Illuminati shit, that.
And so, or some KG scanner, I don't know what the fuck. And so I go and I do it for him. And I'm up in the fucking hospital. And I'm fucking hungry, man. I'm thirsty. I just went on this big walk. So these motherfuckers are giving me water and stuff like that. And they gave me like some cookies and stuff. And so I'm sitting up in there eating the cookies and stuff.
A child. A child. Again, look. Just a little child. I'm sitting up there, I got my cookies and shit. I got my free Obama cookies and shit.
Drinking the water, hooked up to the catheter. I never, that's a fucking fucked up experience.
It's like, he's not wrong.
Doctors, they're sitting there trying to explain to me, like, basically why I have to be there. They're telling me that my KG level is too high or something, or K level or whatever it's called is too high. They're telling me I got hypothermia and I can't leave. But in the meantime, they're doing the psychiatric papers.
Yeah, trying to keep you there while
They're doing the
doing
fucking
evaluation,
psychiatric
mate.
papers.
See if you're a danger to
And
those
these
around you.
motherfuckers are putting-
Because Jamil rolls into the computer, click, do a quick security. Oh, he's up for stalking women. What's he doing all this far away? 37 miles. No normal person would go 37 miles. There must be a reason he's coming this way. See, they don't know him like I know him. They probably think he's trying to find some girl. He may have been trying to find some girl, and this is just his video to try to throw the cops off, like all his other videos. But, to me, it's obvious they typed him in. They found his record. They're just like, oh, God. Great, we should be dealing with the cancer patients and the mothers giving birth and the people with legitimate mental issues that actually want help, but fine.
Then these motherfuckers put some drugs.
No, YouTube. No. Right, we're 15 minutes 45. I'll be right back. Right, we're back. And refreshed, shall we say.
These motherfuckers want to give me drugs, man. This motherfucker came in there talking about, take these pills. I said, what are the pills? They said potassium. I take potassium pills. And they tasted like, they taste like normal pills. I think they are normal pills. But these motherfuckers put some drugs. I know these motherfuckers put some drugs up in my IV, man. I know they did that. Something tells me they did that.
What?
Because I was motherfucking drowsy, man. Like
37 miles. dehydration, kidneys slowly shutting down. Man, I know they put something in my IV, man, because, I was feeling drowsy. You mean it wasn't the fact that you can't look after yourself as a man? You can't even go for a walk? You can't even go walkies? Dogs can go walkies.
Like I was standing up, and I was standing up, and I had a fucking headache, man. Like,
whoa, man, I was drugged, man. I was drugged like Roger Stone, man. I stood up, I had a headache. Yeah, because you were enormously dehydrated for your massive body. Like, it's very simple. Very simple.
I can't explain it. Has anybody ever taken, people watching this, have you ever taken drugs? Like, have you ever taken like a Vicodin pill or something like that? Are you taking a pill in your body?
They probably did slip something in his salmon. I would have. Like, I don't think they did. I think he was probably just dehydrated. But, if he was on a, psych ward, signed papers over, maybe they did slip something in his food, and once again, good. Like, what? Why? You were causing issues, obviously. They wouldn't have done it if you sat there quiet, just keeping to yourself, and chat with the other patients. Well, some of them.
Body's not used to it, and you know what I'm saying, it's not, like, I don't know, you just feel sick, like, not high, but just kind of sick, like, it didn't agree with you, like, that's kind of how, like, some people smoke marijuana for the first time, you kind of sick from it, that's kind of how I felt kind of sick, and so, the motherfucking doctors, they told me I would be there for a minute.
The motherfucking doctors.
Matter of hours.
The motherfucking doctors, went to a university, got in a load of debt to enter that line of work, which has some of the highest highest percentages of alcoholics, or ratios of alcoholics in the workplace. Them vets. Same with suicide. Them vets. Because of all the shit they have to deal with. All the bad diagnoses they have to give. Fucking up. Ruining someone's life by accident. And then here walks in Jimmy. Yeah, I'm getting gangstalked. Let me give you my flyers.
And I could leave. And then
The trick is not to leave a mental institution, Jamil. It is to never enter in the first place. And it's quite easy.
Then it turned into these motherfuckers. Want me to go upstairs.
Upstairs.
And they had these motherfuckers. They had some women come in and evaluate me. And they asked me questions. Like, asking me about, asking me about me living at my house with my mother, why I left, why I went on the walk. And so I had to do these evaluations and all this stuff and talk to all these different people. And...
Evaluations/investigations, it sounds like.
Set me up, man.
I'm trying to set you up.
They're trying to make me look crazy on paper.
Trying to make you look crazy on paper? You look crazy on paper. If I just look at you yourself, Jamil. If you listen to this, I know you do. Think about no, actually, it's not going to work, will it? Because you write it. I was going to say, think about the things you do, write them down, and then read them as if it's not you doing them. They're the acts and thoughts of a crazy person. Someone who probably could be quite levelled out with medication. Get on with his research that he started before. I don't even know if there was a before the mental illness now that I look back. But just, do something before it's too late. It's like every time. I'm like, he's hit rock bottom, and then the floor breaks open, and he falls further. Sort it out, man. It's just, listen to everybody else. Except all the Instead of searching gang stalking and watching other mentally ill people reinforce your delusions, what have you got to lose? Take a spin. Go, maybe they're right. What will actually happen if I do what the gang stalkers tell me to do? Oh, I realised they're not gang stalkers. The rest of the world mostly don't even know about it. And when... Oh, I'm not... why am I even saying this though? He's not gonna fucking listen.
Of course, the hospital knows the fucking gang stalking's real.
Yeah, cause
like, these motherfuckers, as soon as I walk in there, they're being told what to do. Like these motherfuckers know gang stalking's real. Like, I ain't, like, what the fuck? There ain't no psychiatric.
See, it's like, I can't read him there. Like, does he actually believe that? Or is there, like, a little bit of him? Because he didn't sound wholly convinced there. But I do think that he actually believes it. But, it's just... like, that's the point where it really doesn't start making sense, the whole gang stalking thing. Like, alright, there's the app that they all have. They communicate via that. And it's really sort of like, you know, there's a wall between you and them, in a way. Because most of them don't really know who you are. And all these things that, like, conveniently wrap it up so it conveniently works for their narrative, that conveniently can't be proven, and conveniently only is really noticeable by them themselves. But then when you start getting it into, like, other businesses and third-party businesses and stuff, I mean, to them it makes sense, but to any logical, reasonable person, especially those who actually have jobs and work in places, which is, of course, something that most gang stalking victims share, is that they don't have jobs, which is why they don't understand how ridiculous a lot of it sounds to people in the real world. Not because we don't know, but because we do.
Issue here, motherfucker, is people getting gang stalked. That's the only issue. Like that stuff was fucking crazy. I was in the woods and somebody came to life out of the fucking ground. Like, that stuff was fucking real, man. And so these motherfuckers, they even threatened me too. They were like, well, handcuff. They're like, if you don't, they're like, why don't you just go along with it and relax?
Yeah, so these aren't doctors then, straight away. We'll handcuff you. Why don't you just go away with it? Go along with it. Why don't you relax? Again, these are Jamil paraphrases. These are people trying to control a man who's getting rattled. It's become quite obvious when you challenge his delusions in person. He gets very angry. The second flower girl said it. The one who he nicknamed Flower Girl after he realised she had a flower coincidentally tattooed on her after he'd already obsessed over Flower Girl that he's on trial for. Yeah, like, she challenged his delusions at one point and he got angry. I think his mother did. Anyone that does, obviously they do. And with them being doctors and stuff, he's just getting angry. Plus with his paranoia over them being doctors. Doctors are all Masons, man. His paranoia over doctors and stuff like that. It's hard. I wish I was a fly in the wall, honestly. Any doctors in the hospital have the CCTV footage. Well, I'm not going to say send it, because it's probably illegal. But write a script. Anyway.
And just chill out, and we'll handcuff you to the fucking rail and all this stuff if you don't do what you know what I'm saying? Like they wanted me to just sit there and participate and all that stuff, and I basically, so I'm fucking stuck in the hospital, man. Like, these motherfuckers got me stuck in the fucking hospital, and it was just fucked up, man. Like, I think they were trying to put drugs in my food and stuff. Like, the fucking food was terrible. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It was hospital food. It was pretty good. You know, it was alright, but they got me on a fucking
3 opinions. It was terrible. No, it was alright. It was pretty good.
After that and all this stuff, I don't want to fucking be there.
Of course you don't. No one wants to be there.
Like, I didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even do nothing to end up there. Like, motherfuckers just put the doctor. They had the doctors come in there. I'm fucking.
I didn't even do anything to get put there. I didn't even do anything to get put there. It's unbelievable. Like, I just don't like, this is the wall. This is why I keep coming back to his videos, because there's something just so intriguing about seeing someone that just doesn't see something so obvious. Like, he's looking for fucking conspiracies from like 50 years ago, researching this shit, yet he can't see that he's basically tripping balls 24/7. He's like one of those people that took acid and never came down.
I'm fucking sick, and I can't even fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been walking for like 37 miles, so of course I'm going to be incoherent. The doctor's incoherent. The doctor said...
No, that's just your usual self. Oops, whoops.
Yeah, man, I just went on a 37...
Nah, you're always incoherent, mate. So it's probably like number 5 on the list of words I most use to describe you is incoherent.
Mile walk, and I was dehydrated, I'm fucking hungry, and I was laying out in the woods, like, watching the gangstalkers, and the motherfuckers are in the woods, but, like, of course, all this stuff...
Can you imagine the doctors listening to this?
Incoherent when I come in. I mean, I was coherent, I was answering their
So,
questions.
Mr. Rawls, why do you think you're good? Of course I'm incoherent, man. I was out in the woods, looking at the stalkers, following me around, following me 37 miles. Never leave me alone. I'm Jimmy Rawls, only person in the world, be gangstalking 110%. Every single time. Hand them his flyers and that. This is, oh, I'd have answered it. What? No. Yeah, it's, I don't know, I went for a walk. I've been under loads of stress recently. Got into stuff I'd rather not get into. I don't know, it was stupid. I just kept walking. I didn't have water. Luckily, the police found me. I hallucinated in the woods. I didn't take anything. I don't know what happened. Next thing I know, I end up here in the hospital. And they'd been like, okay, treat me, discharge me, been getting on with things. Instead, you went Jameel Rawls. You went full Jameel Rawls.
Correctly, but he was saying that he just basically lied. Motherfucker was trying to make me look like there's something wrong with me on paper. So
on
they
paper.
could play some game. They wanted me to, the big thing was
on
they
paper.
wanted me to take their medication.
Of course they did.
Not at the hospital, but after the I was in the fucking emergency thing for 4 days, man. For 4 fucking days.
Because you fucked yourself up. It's like what marathon runners sometimes do that, where like the kidneys start shutting down. That people have died from that.
Like basically all these fucking different women and stuff were up in there. Like they had this one fucking woman. Like she was gang stalking. Like they all look the same. Like all the women look the same, and
all y'all look alike.
All the fucking doctors, they just sat there and told me. They just sat there and told me to take the pills. Like the doctors were trying to convince. Like every doctor that I had, they just told me, if you take the shots and you take the pills and everything, it'll be all right and they'll let you go.
Yeah, and guess what? You wouldn't have needed any of it if you hadn't walked for 37 miles, and if you'd just drank water and ate and rested. Okay? And now he's just like, he's the doctors trying to make me take pills and medication. Yeah! Because you're dying! You idiot! You numbskull.
And then the women, the nurses, they were saying the same fucking... That's all they said. That's
because
all
they don't want to talk about anything else with you. They're not there for anything else. They're sick of you. They want to treat real people.
The hospital wants you to do, you can go home. And so these motherfuckers
like a kid,
were just sitting up in there conning me the whole time.
Conning me.
Telling me do this, do that. And so now, you know what I mean? They got me on this catheter and all that stuff. So I got, you know what I mean? Like I'm basically at these motherfuckers, I gotta do what these motherfuckers tell me to do so I can get up out of there. Excuse my language. And so I ended up going over into they ended up sending me into the fucking psychiatric ward. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
I didn't realise we hadn't got to that part yet.
That was fucking
I was going to stop
insane.
this at an hour. No, we're just going to
That
go.
was fucking insane. They had every single They were calling nurses. When I was in the hospital.
So let's get this straight, yeah? They did an evaluation, these people came in, the police obviously talked to him or something. They held him there for 4 days, and then once that he, it seems, once he was, fit to get about, they put him in the psych ward. Obviously. Once again, 99% of the people who watch this, just like, yep, obviously, yeah. We're all gangstalkers. Obviously, yeah, he needs to go in there, he needs an evaluation. Not to hurt him, not because we think he's bad, but to help him. Because he's probably good. A lot of good people do really stupid, bad things because they don't understand, because they need help.
They had every single nurse working in on the gang stalking thing. Not even going to the psychiatric ward.
Can you take one bit of responsibility for anything?
Every single nurse wearing different colors and stuff like this, like walking past me, and the thing they had some fine ass nurses.
Yeah, didn't they?
They had some bad motherfuckers working out there for them. I can't lie. Like I was like, God, I was like, whoa. They had some fine ass.
Sure, they're circling for a catch like you.
Too. Like I was getting along with them. Like I was up in there playing tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, they're a nurse.
And stuff like that. Like we were up in there playing shoots and ladders and stuff. Watching TV, watching everything, like it was pretty fun. Like the nurses, like they were like I was trying to explain to the nurses, I was explaining to them. I don't want to say on YouTube. I was telling the nurses about they think my life's simple. The nurses that were up in there, they were like, you get to live with your mother and you don't pay any bills. I'm like, that's what it looks like on the outside.
Nah, that's what it is on the inside. And look, that face is the face of like, there it is. A brief moment of, yep, that is what it is. That's what it looks like on the outside. No, that's what it is, Jamil. That's what it is. You get to live with that fucking bitch. In your words. Poor woman.
There's more to the story.
What? No, there ain't. No, there isn't. There ain't no more to the story. I've read the story. Literally, I've read the story. There ain't no more to that story.
Not gang stalking, I'm saying there's more to it. It just looks like, I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of stuff, And so I'm in there talking to them, so the nurses kind of started getting... And that was the first time in my life I really started opening up to people.
Yeah, because it would do you the world of good to be in a nut house. I think a nut house, because Jamil Rawls isn't like... He's not like... I mean... I was going to say he's not... He's sort of like a functional crazy person, even though he did sort of walk off and not look after, his dehydration, his water levels and stuff like that. But mostly, he's like a functional person, which is why I've always been like, get help, because I think, you know what? He could actually go get help. I do believe he could be reasoned out of it, even at this stage. But I doubt that he'll ever want to do it, because it's scary. It seems scary, even though, once he gets a taste of it like this right here, it's going to help him. He's obviously had issues his life, mixing in with people, making proper friends and stuff like that, and that is because of a lot of trauma, it seems, that's developed into like mental issues, but things that could be resolved. And straight away he's in there, starts talking with people that know how to speak with people that may have issues, and he starts opening up. He's talking about his life problem. He'd get through things, and he'd finally come to a realisation that, you know what, I've opened up, these are my life problems, these are what that I've realised what now causes them, and all of these things I've somehow pinned and blamed on gang stalking for years. Do it now, Jamil, before you have to do it when you're like 60 or 70, and then you come out like, I wasted all that time. I wasted all that time, going. Don't know why I did that.
That was a strange thing, is I had never really opened up to anybody about my like my childhood growing up in my life, and this was just in the hospital. This was in ER.
I thought you talking about the psych ward.
The nurses started taking a liking to me. They were like, man, that motherfucker's... They were like, damn, that motherfucker's honest. He's being honest. That motherfucker's honest as fuck. And so... So, you know, they were still doing the gang stalking and stuff, and I didn't even talk about gang stalking. I especially after they signed them psychiatric, like, I ain't gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just talking about normal stuff, like the normal, but actually, looking back now, that was a good decision, because I actually got to talk about a lot of other stuff. Like, I was just telling nurses about my life. I was just like, yeah, I just sit home all day on the computer and stuff like that, and they were just like, they were a little bit confused. They knew the gang stalking was, they knew there was something more to my story. They just couldn't figure it out. They knew they were being told to do these little assignments. They didn't know what gang stalking was, but they knew there was something different about my situation that they were unfamiliar with. And so, but then they were also probably told a reason as to why they had to do it as well, that I'm not aware of. So
it's just so stupid.
Oh my god! Then,
like, it wouldn't even be the most effective way. Yeah.
4 days. No, I mean, sorry, 10 days. I was in the ER for 4 days. I was in psychiatric ward for 10 fucking days. And
He's in the psych ward for 10 days. That must have been what happened when he went missing. When we thought he left, but he didn't like announce leaving for that, and then he just came back with didn't like mention it. That is interesting. That is I'm gonna have to look back now. I hope he didn't. I wonder what account that was on. I'll have to look back and see if we can find the video right after he came back.
he looked just like the uncle from the Wizard of Oz, the guy that worked there. He was cool. He was all right. Like he was interesting.
No, he wasn't.
What do they have?
Describe it like a flamingo land holiday now.
The women that work at the hospital were coming over to the psychiatric ward. Like, they were literally taking women from the hospital and putting them in the psychiatric ward to do the gang stalking. Mm-hmm. And then the people who already worked there.
So you all women look alike. We already know that.
Everybody had to wear different colors and do different types of stuff. And it was kind of weird. It was just like, man, this motherfucker's in a psychiatric ward, and we got to do all this stuff to him.
No, things are just color coded.
Like what? Like what's going on? And so I just started telling them. You know, I just started telling motherfuckers. I wasn't telling about the gang stalking, but I was telling about a lot of other stuff. And they were just like, damn. And so they wanted me to take some medication. There was a lot of unexplained stuff.
It's not
unexplained. There were some weird-looking people who came to visit me in ER.
In ER again? Why'd you keep flipping back and forth? I do. It was the police.
It was like some Chinese people. It was some Chinese guys, and they looked like some fucking. They looked like they had some. They looked like they were superseding the hospital somehow. They definitely looked like they had PhDs and all this stuff. And they spoke fluent Chinese, and they could speak.
I know it was. It was the
So I could tell they were fluent in
the hospital's lawyers trying to work out how this guy's going to pay for them.
But they came into the hospital and they were like surveying me and asking me a few questions about me getting out.
Definitely the lawyers.
I guess they were making the decision if I was gonna. The doctor. It was like this. The doctors. That were
no one cares.
Were putting me over into the psychiatric.
Tell us the fun stuff.
Based on what my mother did to me on the paper. And then at the last minute, the Chinese guys came in there to decide
That's racist.
as if they were going to allow that to happen or not. It was fucking weird. It was fucking weird because the official doctors making decisions at the hospital. It was like the Chinese people just showed up in there, and the Chinese people either had the power to say "fuck that," let them out, or let them go through, and they could hardly speak English, but they looked like they had some PhDs and all this stuff. So I'm like, what the fuck?
How do you look like you have a PhD?
Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know. Like, it didn't feel like it was really. It might have been the gang stalking. It didn't feel like it was gang stalking. I'm sure it was a little. You know, like everybody who's around me has to gang stalk me to some degree anyway. Whether it's whoever it is, even if it was the president would probably be wearing certain colors and stuff. I don't fucking know, but it just felt like they had all the like authorities and stuff. And so I didn't understand that. Like, where they came from. It was just some Chinese guy, some sophisticated looking Chinese people just showed up. And it just seemed like they had all the power, and I was just like, damn, like, what the fuck? That didn't make sense. And so basically, they asked me. The Chinese people were like, "When you get out, where are you gonna go? We let you out right now. Where would you go?" And my answers weren't really that good. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, "Fuck it, I don't care." You know, like, what do you mean? Where am I gonna go? And so anywhere I go, I'm, you know, like I'm
Definitely the lawyers. Like, what happens if we let this guy go and he just walks for 60 more miles?
GameStop and all this stuff. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, I have an official address for you right now. Like, so they let me. So I ended up going to the psychiatric ward, and it's all connected to the same place, Hackley Hospital. And that was tripped out. Again, the gang stalking was going on in there non-stop, 24/7. I was getting gang stalked. But they said, basically they wanted me to take some medication and all this stuff, and so they had some videos, they had a video arraignment thing, where basically I told them, I said, we're going to trial. I said, I'm not taking no fucking pills. I told them that flat. I didn't say, excuse my language, I didn't swear, but I said, I don't want them pills. And they were like, if you take the pills, we'll let you out. And I said, I don't care about getting out. I'm not taking no drugs. Unless it's some drugs I want. And they said, well, you got to go through a court thing about it then. We got to go through the court thing. And so I'm inside. This is fucking insane. I went through the ER hospital. I'm inside a psychiatric ward getting gang stalked, and now I got to go through a trial. In the
Just remove the word gang stalk from all this, and the entire thing makes sense. You're crazy. Everyone thinks you're crazy. I think you're crazy. They think you're crazy. Crazy people don't know they're crazy.
In the
Crazy people have an answer for everything.
psychiatric ward, and the trial thing has gang stalking. I said, oh my fucking god, man! I'm like, god damn, man! I fucking give up, man! Jesus Christ, like what? God damn! Is there any escape from this fucking insanity? And so I'm in the psych, and so the lawyer's like in on it too. Like the lawyer's sitting there looking at me, and the lawyer's like, it can be this doctor and that doctor, or it could be Dr. Jim Jones. And he said, you know, I was like, oh my fucking god, these people are insane. Like I was like, I give up. Like this is fucking insanity. And the weird part about it was, this is the scariest part about it, is we were doing the arraignment thing, and I knew they were watching us. I knew there was certain stuff the lawyer was doing. There was multiple levels of communication going on.
Really?
And there was something the lawyer was doing.
What was he doing, Jamil?
And so I started doing it too.
What was it?
The lawyer was giving, so I started doing communication too.
What was it?
Whoever was watching us. And the funny thing about it is,
how did you communicate?
Is the lawyer, this motherfucker was drilling me. He was just like,
No answer to that.
just take the fucking pills, Jamil. Look, the doctor got all the professional credibilities. His name's written on papers. He's been to college. You know, you're just some guy off the streets. You're never gonna be able to beat the doctors. We just have to lay down and let him win, Jamil. Just take the pill.
Yeah, this is Jamil's pure fucking lawyer. Right, probably some shit-ass, public defender or something like that, and this guy has to deal with this fucking crazy guy. He's probably heard the gang stalking shit 100 times. This guy will not admit that he's got this opportunity. He's in the hospital. He's like, if this guy's a real doctor. If Jamil takes these pills, I can take him to God. I can go, look, this guy was crazy, but he's looked for help. He takes these pills now. He's calm. He's not going to stalk people. He's of sound mind. There's a reason for his criminal activity. Okay, he wasn't in control of his own actions. And a court would probably look on that quite sympathetically, Jamil. But instead, he won't take the pills, and is driving his poor lawyer mental. And Jamil's just like, once again, his lawyer makes the mistake of once again just like, in Jamil's mind, this is just like, oh yeah, so you just want me to take the pills too? They're all in on it. They're all gang stalkers. No.
Jamil, just take the fucking pills. Jamil, just take the pills. Just take the pills. He just kept saying it over and over again. I was like, God damn, I'm not taking the fucking pills, man. Like, that's all there is to it. I'm not doing it. Like, we're going to trial. And he was like, he did not want to
trial.
go to trial for some reason. I was like, we're going to trial. He's like, you're going to be here for 2 months. You're going to be here for 9 years. We're going to come back here. I'm going to come back here and talk to other clients, and the other clients you're going to be sitting here for weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm just like, what?
He doesn't want to see you.
Christ, like this doesn't make any fucking sense. And so, in the meantime, I'm still being gang stalked every single day by everybody who's in there. Like, I'm trying to give people an image. Like, when I wake up in the morning, I go walking around. As soon as I walk out in the hallway, they got people walking down the fucking hall that work there doing, like, the barbershop stuff. Like, the barbershop gang stalking stuff. Like, the certain colors they wear and stuff like that. So they're walking down the hallway doing the gang stalking.
See, no, like, real...
On the phone saying certain stuff and, like, everything...
Saying certain stuff.
...to gang stalk me.
It's not gang stalking.
Like,
It's like you've got rabies. You've become irritable, like Cujo. Where you notice everything and it all annoys you. And it's all against you, directed at you. Because you're a paranoid, schizophrenic mess that won't take his medicine.
Stop and look at me and stuff like that. Not so much the people, not so much the patients, but the staff who work there.
Yeah, because the patients are crazy.
And so the doctor, he just wanted me to, and the people working there, I mean, some of the people working there were alright, but there was some fucking unqualified motherfuckers working there, for sure. And so...
You know. They even know how to drink water.
My bottom line was like, I'm not taking no fucking pills. And so I just started fucking banging on them motherfuckers. I just started doing Illuminati, flashing Illuminati symbols and stuff on them motherfuckers. And all this stuff inside the video thing. Because I know they're watching. So I just...
This guy ever been to, like, you know, does this guy know that they don't...
Some ancient Illuminati symbolism on them motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And the fucked up part about it is it seems like it worked. That's the weird fucking part. Because as soon, I told that motherfucker, I said, I'm not taking them drugs, man. And then I just started going, I just went Illuminati on them motherfuckers in there. And then right after that, they let me out. That's the fucking mystifying part about it all.
That's
It doesn't
mystifying.
have anything to do with the Illuminati stuff, but they probably just gonna let me. They probably just, were gonna let me out.
Well, of course they didn't. What do you think? Even if his whole, like, if his theory, let's call it that to be kind, was true, then once again they already know about you. They're gang stalking you. They're getting reports on you, probably. You know, phone calls. He's coming down the road. This is what we're going to do. These are the clothes we're going to have to wear. What do you think you just flash an Illuminati symbol and they're like, oh, all right, he's one of us. Whoops. No, you idiot. You're in a crazy place. And they couldn't get you to take your pills. They tried to help you. They tried to forcefully help you. They kept you as long as they legally could. With someone else's consent. And then they had to release you. Without successfully treating you. To go on in the world and probably end up back there eventually anyway.
But it seems like it did work.
You did work.
That was like the weird part. I was like, whoa, like what the fuck? Like
Excuse my language.
Like the motherfuckers I don't know. Like weird Chinese people showed up at the hospital and then I'm doing Illuminati stuff and the fucking I don't fucking know. Like I'm telling you, my stuff is fucking weird, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd be on some motherfucking paranormal. People come, bitch. We go like a 37. I know it. This motherfucking stuff is crazy. We go on a 37 mile. I'm out there walking 37 fucking miles. Like when I say we, I'm talking about like the subscribers, like the fucking journey on YouTube.
No, you're not. You're talking about you and the other like 3 personalities.
And there's people coming out of the it's like. It's fucking crazy. There's like snow people coming out of the fucking ground and stuff. Like, it's like the fucking popos show up. You know what I'm saying? The fucking emergency people show up, and then the fucking weird Chinese people, weird CIA Chinese people show up. Then the fucking then I start doing Illuminati stuff, and I'm fucking out of there. Like I don't fucking like it's fucking crazy.